Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva, and today we are going to be talking all about the new Gucci Longwear Concealer. Now, I wasn't going to pick this up because I heard such bad things about the Gucci foundation, mainly that it was very heavily scented, the product just wasn't good, etc. But when my Nordstrom in Seattle had this product, I was like, you know what? I love to torture myself. I love to be let down. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this $47 concealer. $47. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this overpriced concealer and let the people know if it is worth the $47 or if it is terrible. So if you're interested in hearing more about the Gucci concealer, then go ahead and keep on watching. Also, as of the day I'm filming this video, which is Sunday, September 3rd, the concealer is now also available at Sephora as well, in addition to Nordstrom. One note, if you do end up picking it up at Nordstrom or from the Nordstrom website, as of a few days ago, the colors were way off. Like the colors that they mention on Nordstrom do not correspond to the actual shades. For example, I purchased 13W, but on the Nordstrom website, it's listed as shade 3. A shade 3 does not exist. So just make sure you're like paying attention to the color chart, etc. Hopefully Nordstrom will get that fixed soon. Now, a little bit more about this concealer. As I mentioned, it is criminally priced at $47. Let's go through the claims of the concealer first. So this concealer claims to be a concealer that conceals imperfections and brightens the complexion with lasting medium to full coverage. Highlighted ingredients are black rose oil and hyaluronic acid, camellia flower, and film formers, which are supposed to provide a skin blurring effect, natural looking glow, and coverage that stays in place. So those are the claims. Let's talk a little bit about the packaging because I'm obsessed with Gucci packaging. This is honestly 90% of the reason why I purchased this product, which is ridiculous and absurd, but we're vulnerable here on this channel. I was very excited by the beautiful floral detailing on the lid. Hopefully this will focus for you. There we go. And then the gold here. I was disappointed that it wasn't like glass though. Like it does feel a little cheap. It is just a normal plastic tube. Now the applicator is just a very normal, almost looks like a lip gloss applicator. I was surprised by this applicator because I feel like lately concealers have been coming out with those larger doe foot applicators or applicators that have a little divot. So just something to mention. Now talking about fragrance, I'm pleased to report that this does not smell like anything. Or rather, it smells a little bit like skincare ingredients, but it is not perfumed. I haven't checked the ingredient list, but I'm not noticing any sort of overly floral scent. So thank God for that, because having a floral scent around the eyes, that wouldn't be fun for anyone. I find the shade range of this concealer to be very strange. The concealer jumped from fair to fair medium. There's no light. It's just called fair, fair medium, and then we get into the other shades. And all of the fair shades were quite fair. So if you are very fair skin, you won't have trouble finding a shade. But there was just such a jump. So like right now, I think this shade is correct. This is 13W. But in the summer months, if I were to purchase another shade of this for summer, which I'm not going to because it's so expensive, it would be hard for me to find a summer shade because I'm still light in the summer, going into fair, but the shades were just weird. I'll insert a photo on the screen of the shade range, and I think you can see what I'm talking about, that it goes from very fair to then it jumps quite a bit in my opinion. I want to talk about my experience with the product yesterday. So I purchased this product yesterday. I tried it on in Nordstrom to confirm it was the right shade before purchasing it. I think it was the right shade. The lady at the counter thought it was, but I feel like sometimes at the counters, they're just trying to move people along. My first impression upon wearing it is that it was very unflattering on me. It went on quite thick. It's supposed to be a buildable coverage, but I don't know, it almost felt like I was like painting product on. Granted, it is a medium to full coverage concealer. So they do tell you it's going to be more medium coverage, which my preference is always light with a lot of buildability. But for me, it looked really unflattering on my under eyes. I am 32 years old. I have quite a bit of under eye wrinkles, as almost everyone does, and it really emphasized those under eye wrinkles and really aged me. I do want to caveat that yesterday I was very dehydrated. I did not properly hydrate like the day before. My skin was really dehydrated. I was very dehydrated, so that could have factored into it. So we are going to retry it today to see if it's still giving me that cakey, aging look on the under eyes. So let's go ahead and get into it and apply. The woman at the Gucci counter did tell me to just apply a couple of dots. She initially said I applied way too much. So we are going to try to heed her advice. On one side of my face, I am going to blend it out with a dampened beauty sponge. And on the other side, I'm going to blend it out with a concealer brush because I want to figure out what the best way is to apply this product. So here we go. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I am going to swatch this shade so you can see it. So this is the shade 13W. It looks very, very yellow on my hand. Again, none of the shades just like made a lot of sense for me. So this was the best I could do, if I'm being honest. Now we're going to go in. I'm going to do a little dot there, and then I'll do a little dot here to start, and then this dries down. This definitely dries down quicker than a lot of other concealers. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly blend out, and I'm using my dampened beauty sponge. Okay, that's actually not looking bad. Hey, the woman at the makeup counter knew what she was talking about when she said apply a very little amount. That was just a tiny bit that I applied. And it is looking a lot brighter on my under eye area. I do want to apply a little more right here where I have some discoloration. That way I can get a good idea about the color coverage or like the correcting aspects. So she also mentioned to me, the woman at the Gucci counter, that she wore it as an eye primer. So I am going to just kind of blot it on all over my eyes as well, cover up those veins, and see how it looks. Okay, that's actually not looking bad. I don't quite know. I'm like trying to gather if I'm noticing a marked difference between the eye that doesn't have it and the eye that does. So looking in my mirror here, I'm noticing like a little coverage, but not a ton. I'm still seeing a lot of like darkness on the inner corner. So I think actually I do need to build it up more so that we can actually get coverage and decide if this is actually a concealer because as of now, it's not concealing much. So going back in with my dampened beauty sponge. Okay, I'm noticing a difference between the two eyes. This eye is definitely brighter. I'm gonna actually zoom you in. That's as close as we can get on this camera. This eye is looking brighter than this one, which does not have the concealer yet. I will keep you zoomed in while we are applying the other eye as well. So this time around, we are going to use a brush to blend it out. I'm going to use this brush from Refer. I've been liking this brush. It's the 36 brush. It's kind of has that like paw type of angle to it, which I like in a concealer brush. So going in on this side, oopsies, I applied it like in my eyeball. We are just going to do those two spots for now, and then we are going to start blending I'm gonna take this up onto my lid as well. So when you are applying it with the brush, you are going to be able to use less product because the dampened beauty sponge does suck up some of the product. So I am noticing I'm getting a lot more coverage on this eye immediately than I did with the beauty sponge. I always just love the way a beauty sponge application looks. I did like the way it applied with the brush, but I have to tell you, I do not like this concealer. Everything that happened yesterday is happening right now, even moments after application. So what I like to do when I apply concealer is I do like a smile test. So if I smile and reveal my under eye wrinkles and then relax the face again, I'm noticing a ton of creasing already. A ton of creasing. And it's also really emphasizing my fine lines. Like, it is really aging me. Versus like the Armani concealer, which I love. I also love the Lancome concealer. And then there's another one that I use all the time, but I'm totally forgetting the name. Those do not emphasize my fine lines. This, wow, really emphasizes the fine lines. And it's already looking so cakey. Yeah, this is an absolute no-go from me. Honestly, having it look so terrible right after application saved me a lot of time from having to do a wear test throughout the day because it's only going to get worse as the day goes on. So this concealer, I absolutely do not recommend it. Save your money. I will 100% be returning this. If I give a product a fair shot and I go in with good intentions and the product is just bad, I never feel bad about returning a product. Obviously, if it's a product that I could like pass along to someone else for them to enjoy, you know, I will do that so it doesn't end up in a landfill. But this, I would only pass this on to my worst enemy. That is the only person I would pass this along to. So in conclusion, absolutely stay away from this concealer. It is not the worst concealer I've ever tried, but it's not good. And I would never willingly use this. Only time I would use this again is if I was being forced to apply it against my own will. I know this was a short one, but I hope I saved you time and $47. And I pray that you do not purchase this product because we need Gucci to like raise the bar when it comes to their complexion products. Gucci makes incredible lipsticks, incredible eyeliners, incredible bronzers. I mean, I have behind me like a massive thing of Gucci. So I love the brand, but their complexion products ain't it. And they got to really raise the bar and not think that they can just put a beautiful label on the top and get away with a inferior product. Even though it worked for me, I was conned into it because maybe they're doing everything right and I'm the idiot because I was conned into purchasing this. But in conclusion, this is a no-go. Not the worst concealer, but whew, looking in that mirror and I look like I need to take a 7-year nap. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that this was such a negative review. Good thing is I have a lot of other products I'm gonna be reviewing soon that I've been loving. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you don't pick this up. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend and that you tune in to my next video.